I did visit her about 3 or 4 weeks ago, took communion to her. She called me last night, lonely and just misses everyone here and wants you to know how much you have meant in her life. And but Ruth is a special lady, and we pray for Ruth and for all of those who are struggling during this time when they're not really able to get out and nobody's really able to see them, and loneliness kind of sets in. This would be a good time for you to share any prayer requests that you might have. If you have a special request that of someone that you'd like to add to the prayer list, please feel free to do so at this time.
Family of Dottie Reasons.
Dottie Reasons, the family of Dottie Reasons.
Reason, okay, we'll remember that.
Did I say that right, Miss Nancy?
Thank you, Nancy, for sharing that. Are others, any others? Well, that's a good sign. We're getting better. I asked Marianne this morning what the COVID situation is looking like, and she's got some mixed reports, but things in Madison County are looking a little better. However, some of our neighbors are still having spikes in this plague that besets us all. So we continue to remember all our communities around us, as well as those who continue to work with us in our community for continued health and the overcoming that God will eventually bring of this plague and restore us to normalcy. So let us go to God in prayer. Eternal and loving God, we come before you and give you always thanks and praise, because that is who our thanks and praise is due to. It's due to you, Lord. You're the one that takes care of us. You're the one that gives us, not only gives us life, but you give us life so that you might be glorified. How precious that makes our lives to you and to us, that you should choose to give us life so that you might be glorified and we might be able to glorify you. We pray especially as we come before you this morning and give you thanks for your faithful presence with us and your guidance and your encouragement as we all face the challenges of life in this particular time in history. There's a lot of turmoil and concern and fear and wonder about what the future holds. So we praise you, God, that in and through it all, you're steady. You are not at all affected by the comings and goings of the human condition. You're still God, and you're still in charge, and you always will be. And for that, we thank you, because we need something to hang on to during these times. We thank you for the joy of being able to encounter you in surprising ways, and sometimes we see you at work, and yet we don't see you. We hear the laughter of a child, and maybe the companionship of a pet. How precious our little furry creatures are to us that give us such joy, gifts from you. For all the little ways that you make yourself known to us, so many of which we often take just for granted because we forget that you are the giver of every good and perfect gift. And there is nothing more perfect than to be able to wake our eyes up to life every morning. We live one day at a time. Jesus told us to do that. And sometimes we get ahead of ourselves, and we ask you to help us with our impatience and our anxieties. You tell us in your word to cast all those worries and anxieties on you because you do care for us. So help remind us of that during this time of worship together. Remind us, Lord, that faithfully serving you is less about doing great things and more about doing small acts of kindness, for finding ways to help others in the day-to-day routines that all of us go through. Simple little things count for so much.